African Democratic Congress has criticized the presidency for treating former Minister Uche Nnaji's resignation as a private affair rather than a matter of public trust. The party said President Bola Tinubu's response to the controversy surrounding Nnaji's academic credentials undermines public confidence in the government's commitment to transparency and accountability. In a statement by its National Publicity Secretary, Bolaji Abdullahi, the ADC faulted the presidency for accepting Nnaji's resignation without conducting a thorough investigation into the alleged forgery of his academic and NYSC certificates. It argued that allowing the former minister to quietly exit office reflects poorly on the administration's anti-corruption stance. The opposition party warned that the government's approach sends a dangerous message to young Nigerians about integrity in leadership. It urged President Tinubu to set a higher ethical standard for public officers to restore faith in governance and demonstrate that honesty and accountability remain core values of public service. What is your take on this?
You know, I see what I have seen in this country. In fact, thank God it's ADC that is talking. Of course, you know, the last plane that crashed was ADC, so I know that this party is crashing again. I don't understand what they want the president to do. Now, if you want to go through due process, if you don't go through due process, they will say, no, you are becoming too autocratic, you are taking laws into your hand. If you don't want a due process, does accepting resignation stop prosecution? No. It does not. In fact, people went and wrote petition and said, this man is like this, and the man has said, okay, if this is the suspicion, go and answer your case. Get out of my office. Of course, the man came and I accepted it. Now, so that you cannot act as an individual, and now the court or the law can deal with you, including the federal government dealing with you. And the man has said, okay, I accept you, then leave. Could you have allowed him as minister? Why this thing is going on? I think that it's a case of, if you go like this, they say, no, he has done this. There is something in my adage. They said, when you don't have anything to say against a fine girl, you just say, go and take water and take your bed. That's exactly what they are doing. That a man, because of this controversy, has accepted a resignation because somebody resigned because it's found out that maybe one thing or the other, which looks like a little bit of acceptance of what they have accused you. And the man resigned. And they've accepted this resignation. So you can be dealt with as an individual, not as a government. You will no longer use the government influence to influence one or two things. He said, no, that's not good. What you would have done is, don't resign. Please, just be minister, and be using government influence to prosecute your matter. So where are we? That's the question we need to ask. Where are we? Are we saying that President Tinubu, this is the first time I'm even seeing, few of them that has resigned as a result of controversy. And naturally, what Nigerians will do is to stay put. To stay put until the man resigned. And let me tell you,
the members of ADC that is saying this some of them, any of them had controversy of any sort while in office? Remained in office.
A lot.
Which of them?
Who do I mention and who don't I mention? What about even Senator Mark? You know, he was minister. Hopefully you know that Senator Mark was minister for communication. It was Senator Mark that told us that that phone wasn't for the masses. That phone was for elite class. It was Senator Mark that told all of us that. Have we forgotten that? That he said this phone that we're all using today, that his children and everybody, his friends, his aides are using today, that was not for Nigerians, it was for few elites. What happened to him? All of this controversial abandoned property that we're talking about in River State, he was the one who's supervising it now. Why are we forgetting all of that? So, how come all of those controversies will come? Do you know also that some ministers were accused of doing some loan that were not consistent with law with China, and they were still there? Nobody said anything about that. Today, somebody's been accused of something that even the court has not said otherwise. And then the man has put his resignation. And the language of resignation, maybe you don't know. Sometimes resignation is willingly. Sometimes resignation is the principal will say, please resign. Because of it. That means that sometimes in these two scenarios, most 80% of the period is because you know that the principal, that maybe his integrity level will not let him attend to you having that controversy. People should understand that. And so if you can resign, how many of them resign? They don't resign. Those controversies will be there and everything, they will resign. But this one, just said, okay, I'm going to resign. I think they should, in fact, if there is anything, they should applaud the president for even accepting that resignation. What will you do to the president? Keep him there, and the man is attending to what's it called, public issues, and then he's attending to his personality, using public influence, government influence to infiltrate into institutions. Are they also not happy that an institution, a university in Nigeria under the president can boldly write that? Can that happen in their regime? All of these people, we know their background, so we understand what they're saying. We know. It's like, oh, if you resign, no. You know, if the president says, okay, now this man has done this, let me lock you. They'll say, oh, president, has he allowed? Don't forget that you are not guilty until you are proven guilty by a competent law in Nigeria. So he could have been there until such a time where he's proven guilty by the court. If the president's integrity was not at stake. So they would have said, my friend, please, put up a resignation. Because if the president also sacked him as a result of this, without a court naming him as guilty, the president also faulted. So if he may have advised, I'm not saying that's what happened, or him on himself or his evolution, but all of that has to do with the body language of the president. Whether like it or yes, that's all it takes. If the president was saying, we'll forget this, what can they do? He won't resign. Not that the Senate has called for his resignation. All of that. And now you are saying this person that you brought in, that this is what happened, this and that and that and that and that. As a result of that, this thing, people are going to court and then the man resigned. That means that, oh, if I knew you hadn't this, I wouldn't have appointed you in the first instance. So since there's a controversy in it, don't come and defend yourself and all of that. Go back and become like cheesy. Go and defend yourself. And they said, no, that's not correct.